everybody. Today I'm going to do a comparison video between the brand new SK X-Frame ratcheting wrenches, the Snap-on Flank Drive Plus, as well as the WrightGRIP wrench made by the Wright Tool Company. Now all of these are 100% made in the USA. They all carry lifetime warranties, but they feature something that most wrenches don't, and that is a gripping open end. Now most wrenches are going to cause fasteners to just round off corners, and previously I've done a full review on the WrightGRIP wrench as well as a comparison video with that Snap-on Flank Drive Plus. Since SK is finally shipping their X-Frame sets, I was able to get the correct size that I need to put it head to head against these two. So what we're going to do in this video is look at them side by side. We're going to look at the advantages and disadvantages of each, and then we're going to see how the open end on the brand new X-Frame wrench is actually going to perform. When we take a look at all three wrenches side by side, you can see that they all have a full polished chrome finish, and the WrightGRIP is going to be the shortest, followed by the SK, and the Snap-on Flank Drive Plus is going to be the longest. One of the major differences between the different brands is going to be not only the thickness of the beam, but also the weight. The WrightGRIP has a very thin beam, coming in at only 4 ounces. The Snap-on also has a very thin beam, coming in at 4.1 ounces. But the SK does have a much beefier, thicker frame, and that adds to the overall weight. So you can see side by side just how much thicker it actually is. And the same wrench with the same size, being 9/16, is coming in at 6.2 ounces. Now that being said, the SK is still very comfortable to use in my opinion, and it doesn't feel bulky. And that extra strength in the beam could really be beneficial in certain situations. Especially if you're dealing with high torque on a fastener, the WrightGRIP or the Snap-on with their fairly thin beams could end up bending, but because of the extra steel in the SK, it really runs a minimal risk of getting damaged during normal use. The other thing to keep in mind is that although the Snap-on and the WrightGRIP do have thinner beams, when it comes down to the thickness of the head, there is not a huge difference. Now out of the three of them, the SK does still have the thickest head, but it does not double in size, and you can see they are very similar. Now as far as the open end design, you can see that they all three do have teeth machined in, and that's what's going to grip into the fastener and not let go. Now the main difference between the three of these, the Snap-on and the WrightGRIP, only can grip the fastener on two sides. The SK actually has a 4-point design, so this is where the teeth would be on the top and the bottom jaw, but they do have raised indentations right here on the other two sides of the hex. So in certain situations this would grip on and not let go, where the other two would slip and cause damage to the fastener. And to show you exactly what I mean by that, we'll first slip the WrightGRIP wrench on this fastener. You can see how that rounded back end right here does not grip anything, and only the two flat surfaces are going to touch the two flat surfaces on the fastener. So if it starts to round the corner off, nothing else is going to prevent it from turning. When we look at the Snap-on, it's going to be exactly the same way. Nothing on the rear would prevent it from slipping, and the only thing holding it in place are the two flats. The SK, however, because it does feature those raised designs on the back, you can see the one right here sticking up as well as the one on the bottom. When we slip that on the same fastener, you can see in effect it is touching 4 sides at the same time. Now lastly, I do want to point out the box end of these, although they're not the same style of wrench. The SK features a 6-point ratcheting design, and then the Snap-on and WrightGRIP both feature a standard combination wrench with a 12-point design. But more importantly, the SK does not have any sort of an offset on the open end or the box end. But the Snap-on and WrightGRIP both feature an offset. So you can see the box end on them does curve up. It would allow you to get into certain situations where the SK just would not fit. But on the flip side of that coin, the SK could fit into certain places where these would not fit. So you do want to keep that in mind when you order a set of these and pick the style that's going to be best for you. Now let's go ahead, pop that mandrel in the vise, and see the gripping ability of the open end. The first test is going to be using the WrightGRIP. and it was able to shear the head right off the grade 8 bolt. Next, we're going to use the Snap-on Flank Drive Plus. It also was able to shear the head off the grade 8 bolt. And finally, we're going to try the SK X-frame. And finally, the SK was also able to shear the head off that grade 8 bolt with no issue at all. Taking a closer look at all 3 wrenches side by side along with those grade 8 bolts, you can see that the WrightGRip, the Snap-on, as well as the X-frame were able to lock onto the metal, dig in and not let go. The open end did not spread, and they all 3 were able to shear that bolt head off exactly the same way. So now you've seen a side-by-side comparison between SK's brand new X-frame ratcheting wrench, the Snap-on Flank Drive Plus, and then the WrightGRip wrench made by the Wright Tool Company. Now all 3 of these are 100% made in the USA. They all carry a lifetime warranty, and now you've seen the advantages and disadvantages of each one. Now what we were able to prove in this video, of course, was the gripping ability of the open end on all of them. And they all pretty much performed exactly the same way. When we put the mandrel in the vise and used those brand new grade 8 bolts, all 3 of them locked on, didn't let go, and they sheared the bolt heads right off. Now you wouldn't use an open end, especially with that much force to install something. But what you want to keep in mind is the fact that many times the box end is just not going to fit because of clearance issues. And in that case, you can use the open end. You're going to be able to remove a fastener that's very tight. You're not going to round off the corners, and best of all, the wrench is not going to let go on you. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe. And thanks for watching.